Hi, I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. Thanks so much for joining us today for our customized energy storage solutions training today at the Soligent YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell in the corner so you can be a part of our ongoing conversation here about making you, your customers, and your business thrive with energy storage. The key is knowledge. Energy storage is not as easy as just selling solar, or everyone would already be doing it. It takes practice, it takes hard work, it takes patience, it takes customization. So we're going to talk about that today, educating ourselves on how to properly size and design energy storage systems for your customers. In addition, to some of the myriad of energy storage options that are available right here at Soligent. Become a dealer today. Click on the link below and join us on our adventure of learning today all about energy storage. All right, let's get this party started. Thanks so much again for joining us. By the way, if you'd like to subscribe, just do so right now. Click on that notification bell, get that ongoing message every single month, every single week that we have a different message out. Great programming right here at the Soligent YouTube channel, like our podcast every week called Beyond Emissions. Experts from around the world joining us right here. Beyond Emissions podcast at the Soligent YouTube channel and at Spotify. All right, folks, welcome to our energy storage training. Again, like I said, it's not as easy as just selling solar, or everybody would be doing it. It takes practice and hard work, and that's what you're here to do today, investing in your knowledge, becoming more valuable for your customers. All right, so in order to properly size and design energy storage systems, first we have to start with our customers' why. You'll notice there the book covers start with the why, which is a Simon Sinek book that I love. I highly recommend you check it out. It's about the why, whether it's your customers' goals or your own goals. If you're focused on the outcome, I want to make 100 million in sales or what have you, it's important to have goals, but you have to start with your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? The what is the outcome or the goal. But if you start with your customers' why, or your why with your own goals, you're more likely to have a more successful outcome in the end. It's important to customize our customers' situation, their system, and their energy storage needs are all going to be different. How do you determine the size of energy storage needed? Well, what is the customer's why? What is their goal? Does your customer want to go off grid, grid tie with critical loads only, battery backup? Or maybe they want whole house backup, or arbitrage, where you're offsetting the higher rates at night by storing some of the energy during the day instead of selling it all back. Or how about NEM 3 in California, where sellback rates to the utility are dropping as low as 8 cents per kilowatt hour, destroying that return on investment for normal solar. So energy storage is necessary. And those customers will want to use energy storage instead of selling it back to the grid. Every customer's why or goal is going to be completely different. And that is the key to sizing, designing, selling, and being successful in the realm of energy storage. All right, let's start here. This is the key to figuring out what size energy storage system you need for your customer. This is going to be the key regardless of what the customer's goal is. You need to find out the total kilowatt hours of usable energy that the customer needs in a max use day. You can't average with energy storage. Again, that's somehow different, a lot different than sizing solar, for example, where you take a customer's average usage and you divide by the peak hours of sunlight, boom, there's the PV array, maybe increase a little bit to account for some inefficiencies. And that's how simple solar is. Well, in a sense, energy storage is simple as well, but we have to figure out what is that amount of kilowatt hours the customer needs to have available and usable energy every single day. And if we find that out, now, by the way, is that your job to find out those kilowatt hours with a crystal ball? No, no, we're not fortune tellers. We can't do that. We're not magicians. It's important. We can't read minds. It's important that you find out from your customer what is the energy consumption that they're needing to offset with energy storage, regardless of their goal. What is that usable kilowatt hours of usable energy needed for storage per their goals each day? And we can't guess that. You get the call from a customer, I'm sure, a homeowner, and they say, hey, I have a 3,000 square foot home. I want batteries. How much? How much? How much? It doesn't work that way with energy storage. You have to have that conversation with your customer and let them know. Just take a deep breath. I will let you know, but first I need you to answer a few questions and figure out exactly how much energy we need to build this gas tank for, this energy tank for. That's what the battery is. You can't just say, hey, I want to drive across the country. How much, how much, how much? Well, how much gas is it going to take to drive across the country? How many refills are you going to have to do for that gas tank? It's the same thing with energy storage. You can't just say 3,000 square foot home. That's great for sizing carpet, but in the world of energy storage, it does us no good because somebody can have a 500 square foot home and use more energy than the person with the 3,000 square foot home. So for energy storage, what is the total kilowatt hours of usable energy that your customer needs per their goals? And again, what are those goals? Off grid, grid tie with battery backup for critical loads, whole house backup, arbitrage, or offsetting all of your rates of sellback and using that energy and storing it yourself instead under whatever net metering agreement you may be under. There's a different why for everyone. Time of use, peak shaving, you name it, a different why for everyone. So lithium iron phosphate or lithium batteries, a lot of manufacturers, they say, you can go 90% depth of discharge and get 4,000 cycles or 6,000 cycles or 100% depth of discharge just because the battery has that capability. We do not want to size lithium batteries like that for our customers. We want to do it at 80% depth of discharge all the time. Why? Because you can maximize your life expectancy. Just because the capability is 10-year warranty, 90% depth of discharge, 4,000 cycles, that doesn't mean you want to size your customer system like that. They're buying a solar system that they expect is going to last them 20, 25 plus years or longer. They are not going to invest all that extra money in an energy storage solution that's going to be 70% of the remaining capacity in 4,000 cycles. Assuming that we're sizing for 1 cycle per day, which is how you should be sizing energy storage. Don't listen to people who say, oh, throughput, it doesn't matter. You can have, yeah, there are circumstances where you might cycle a battery 2 or 3 times a day. But generally speaking, you want to size it for 1 day. A cycle is if a battery is fully charged and then discharged down to a point and charged back up again, that's 1 cycle. So if you size your battery tank, your energy tank, or your battery, I liken it to a gas tank. Think about it full down to a certain level and back up again. That's a cycle. So if you size your customer's energy storage system for 1 cycle per day, that's fully charged, discharged down, and charged back up again, you're going to be able to take the number of cycles that battery will get at a certain depth of discharge and estimate the life expectancy for your customer. Well, at 4,000 cycles, that's like 12 years of life. Or 6,000 cycles, that's like 14.9 something years of life, less than 15 years. Does your customer, just because the battery can go 90% depth of discharge and has a 10-year warranty, they're buying a 25-year system. So are they going to be happy if they've only got 70% of the total energy they need with 30% gone forever and 12 to 15 years from now? Probably not. It's why we size it at 80% depth of discharge. So you take the total kilowatt hours of usable energy each customer needs. For lithium batteries, this is different. You oversize by about 70% for lead acid, but for most of these systems, they're going to be lithium based. And you want to oversize the battery 20% larger than that usable energy number. So total kilowatt hours of usable energy, find that out, add 20%, So that battery should discharge at 80% depth of discharge daily. Most lithium batteries at 80% depth of discharge, or 20% larger than their daily energy need, will get about 8,000 cycles, which is about 22 years of life before you hit that 70% of the remaining capacity number. And by the way, if these numbers are flying over your head, don't worry about it. I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. We have got your back. We're here to help you. So contact me at josh.brum@soligent.net. I'll work through the math with you and your customers to determine which options make the most sense per the math calculations. I'll work through this with you, not just once, but as many times as it takes, as you need in order to get it figured out. And then we can figure out the total bill of materials and have a Soligent specialist reach out to you right away and get you quoted on everything you need: the solar panels, the racking, the inverter, the energy storage, the electrical balance of systems. We can take care of the whole enchilada for you. Okay, so that's the first step. Usable energy that the customer needs, total kilowatt hours per their goals. If it's lithium batteries, add 20%, so the battery size at 80% depth of discharge. Divide that number by the kilowatt hour increments of each battery option, which we're going to go into some of the battery options that are available right here at Soligent today. Click down on the link below and become a Soligent dealer today. And thank you so much for joining us on our learning adventure here, all about energy storage at the Soligent YouTube channel. All right, let's go through some of the math and the examples of how the math works, what we just talked about. Okay, so off-grid. What we need is a load evaluation. And by the way, we're going back to this right here. What's the customer's why? What is their goal? Well, one of those goals is a customer wants to go off-grid. Well, what does that math look like? Well, in order to figure it out, we need to know the total kilowatt hours of usable energy the customer needs. How do we do that for off-grid? There's no averaging in off-grid. You have to be precise, and you have to make sure that everything the customer wants to run is mentioned on this list. A load evaluation is needed. A list of the name and wattage of every electrical load your customer might wish to power off of batteries and solar. Or if you happen to know the max kW of loads at one time, we'll use this to size the inverter. Also, we'll need to know on that list how many hours or minutes each load that is listed might run on a max use day. Or if you happen to already know the total max kilowatt hours used on a max use day, let us know and we can run through the math with you. Inverter math sizing for off-grid, take the max kW from that load evaluation list along with the surge wattage and match it up with the inverter kW needed. And again, we can help you with this. And if I'm going too fast, don't worry, rewind. We're right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Watch this as many times as you need. Also as well, contact us, josh.brum at soligent.net, or click on the link below and we can schedule a one-on-one for you, your team, and your customer to figure out the math for a different project. Every project's going to be different, and we'll help you through that process to determine the right bill of materials you need to have success. Okay, lithium battery math, again, at 80% depth of discharge, take the max kilowatt hours used on a max use day, add 20%, and that's the total kilowatt hours of storage needed. PV array math, and by the way, you have to oversize by 70% if it's lead acid. PV array math, again, if this is lead acid, you want to oversize your PV array by about 50 to 60% to avoid undercharging. But for lithium, far more efficient. You can only oversize, you only need to oversize by 15, 20% to account for all inefficiencies and components. So you take the total kilowatt hours of storage you've determined that you need and add 20% and then divide by peak sunlight hours. And that could be different depending on where you're at in the country. It could be 1 hour up in Alaska. It could be 7 or 8 hours if you're down by the Mexican-American border in Arizona or something like that with more peak sunlight hours. So we're going to use 5 peak sunlight hours. Divide by 5 or your peak sun hours where you're at, and that's the PV array size needed. So here's an example of how that math works. In our pretend load evaluation, by the way, again, thanks for joining us here for our energy storage training at the Soligent YouTube channel. Click on the link below. We'll schedule a one-on-one with you and your team or your customers to figure out the math for your project that you need assistance on, so you can determine all the materials you need to have a successful project. Max load watts from our pretend load evaluation here, we'll call it 13 kW. Again, this is just an example, and these numbers are going to differ for everyone. Max kilowatt hours used on a max use day from the pretend load evaluation, we'll call it 30 kilowatt hours. Again, we're making it up just to show you how the math works. Okay, so inverter math. Max kW for the load on the load eval on this pretend load evaluation is 13 kW. So we'd go with a 15K solar here because of the max AC load and the capabilities of throwing a generator on it and some of the other hybrid capabilities as well. Off-grid battery math, again, what do? Let's go back here, find out the kilowatt hours for lithium, add 20%, and boom, that's what you need. So that's exactly what we're doing here. 30 kilowatt hours, assuming that from our pretend load evaluation is the max kilowatt hours used, add 20%. So the battery sized at 80% depth of discharge, that equals 37.5 kilowatt hours of total energy storage needed if it's lithium. So that would be 7 of the Endure Energy 5.1 kilowatt hour batteries, or 10 of the Simplify Amplify 3.8s, or 2 of the Fortress eVault 18.5s, or a quantity of 8 home grid stacked 4.8 kilowatt hour batteries with a BMS. All examples of the energy storage options you could use. Available here at Soligent, by the way. Click on the link below, become a dealer today. We'll be reviewing some of these battery options in some slides coming up here on the program. All right, grid tie with critical loads backup. This is assuming we're running fridge and lights and maybe a Wi-Fi. I mean, not very much. Critical load panel or sub panel, customer will need to have you build one of those and track back their critical loads to energize with the battery bank. This assumes you're off grid just for those loads only that are in the critical loads panel when the grid goes down. But you are grid tie and able to sell back, etc. And for that, you can go with a Solarc 12K inverter, or even a Solar Edge inverter with an energy hub system. Pretty cool, all available right here at Soligent, just as an example. So grid tie emergency load backup lithium battery math. We're assuming, according to this guesstimate, that it's 15 kilowatt hours on a max use day. Again, this is different for everyone. We're just showing a math example of how the math works. Fridge, lights, and Wi-Fi, we're assuming 15 kilowatt hours of energy on a max use day. What do, folks? We add 20% for lithium to ensure the batteries are sized at 80% depth of discharge. In other words, if we're doing 1 cycle per day, we want the customer to get 20 plus years life to match their realistic expectation of how long the batteries are going to last versus the 20 plus year life expectancy of their solar system. We want those investment numbers to match up so the ROI pencils out for them. And if you go with what the spec sheet says and size it at 90% depth of discharge, 12 to 15 years down the road, they're going to be shy 30% of the energy they need. And that's not going to make a happy customer. We want happy customers. Size your lithium batteries at 80% depth of discharge. Okay, we added 20%. That equals 18.75 kilowatt hours of total energy storage needed. Again, right there, you've got 3 or 4 of the 5.1 kilowatt hour Endure Energy batteries, 5 of the Amplify 3.8s, 1 of the Fortress eVault 18.5s, 4 of the Home Grid Stack plus BMS 4.8s, or 2 of the Solar Edge 10 kilowatt hour batteries with a Solar Edge inverter. All available here at Soligent. Click on the link below to find out more. We'll be talking about these battery options and going a little bit further in depth regarding their features and benefits and value propositions coming up in a few slides from now. All right, whole house backup. This is a math example, much like the off-grid system. Now, the difference between off-grid and whole house backup is with whole house backup, you're still connected to the grid. So the grid basically becomes your backup, and you can use, for example, this is my favorite, the 15K Solark, and we'll talk about this coming up in a future slide here in just a moment, some of the benefits. But right here for whole house backup, the big benefit is the 15K Solark has a 200 amp internal transfer switch that can back up your customer's entire main electrical panel. That's right, no need for a sub panel or critical loads panel. You can back up your customer's entire 200 amp transfer switch capable to back up that entire main electrical panel. For the battery math, again, we're assuming it's 30 kilowatt hours of max use for all the loads if the grid goes down. It could be more, it could be bigger. It could be 100 kilowatt hours. Really depends on what your customer comes back at you with in regards to their response on the amount of usable energy they need in a max use day per their goals. This could change for every single customer, just an example of what the math looks like. So after you add 20%, 37.5 is the total energy storage you need. And that equals, 7 of the 5.1 kilowatt hour Endure Energy batteries, 10 of the Amplify Simplify 3.8s, 2 of the Fortress eVault 18.5s, 8 of the Home Grid Stacked 4.8s with BMS, all examples of energy storage options you can use paired with that 15K Solark inverter to get your whole house backup happening for your customer, all available right here at Soligent. Okay, this is an example of the math. If your customer is lucky enough to get a net metering agreement in their state or in California, for example, before the April 13th or 14th deadline here in California to get NEM 2, that's where you get retail rates to sell back to the utility during the day when you're not there. But at nighttime, say from 4 to 9 or 5 to 9 p.m., your customers are getting charged maybe double per kilowatt hour when the sun's not shining. That takes away some of the advantages of having solar unless you have energy storage. It's called arbitrage. You're offsetting those higher rates at night with energy storage. And we're going to use 10 kilowatt hours as the number, but this again is not one size fits all. Even in these subcategories, there is customization that needs to be done per every single customer. But we're assuming it's 10 kilowatt hours for this math example. Again, you'll need to find out from 4 to 9 p.m. or 5 to 9 p.m. How many kilowatt hours is your customer consuming at night when they're at home and they all get back from school and work and everything like that. Whatever that number is, that's what you want to base this on for the real life example. And again, click the link below, reach out to me. I'll work with you and your team and your customer. Give me the information and we'll do the math together to figure this out, get you a total bill of materials from our Soligent sales specialist that can reach out to you today. Once we figure out what the kilowatt hours is, we can run the math, boom. Our Soligent specialist can reach out to you then with a total bill of materials that your customer will need to have a successful project. Assuming under this type of situation for arbitrage, your customer is using 10 kilowatt hours at night. Well, then what we want to do is add 20%. There it is, total usable kilowatt hours of energy, add 20%. It doesn't change. Add 20% to that. 10 kilowatt hours plus 20% is 12.5 kilowatt hours total energy storage needed minimum. That can be a total of 3 of the 5.1 Endure Energy batteries, 3 of the Amplify Simplify Power 3.8s, or 3 of the Home Grid 4.8 stacked batteries with a BMS, or although you go deep as 100%, you could do a 10 kilowatt hour Solar Edge battery with a Solar Edge inverter. I still recommend that you size that at 80% depth of discharge, even though they have that capability. We want to maximize life expectancy for every option you get. All right, NEM 3, California. By the way, thanks again for joining us today at the Soligent YouTube channel for our energy storage solutions training right here. I'm Josh Brum, your energy storage manager here at Soligent, and we'll help you with this. You're not alone. We'll help work through the math on all your projects to determine a total bill of materials you need for your customer to have a successful project. Email me today, josh.brum@energy, josh.brum at soligent.net for your energy storage solutions. Grid tie NEM3 in California. NEM3 after April 14th in California taking effect. Sellback rates only at 8 cents per kilowatt hour or around there to the utility. Just having solar, it's not going to get your customers the return on investment they need. But with energy storage, it will. They can store all that energy instead of selling it back and have all that value for themselves and get a return on investment with solar plus energy storage and thrive under NEM3. Grid tie NEM3 example. Let's assume that you've sized their system to offset their bill at say 10 to 13 kilowatts. Let's call it 10. And for that, we can go 15K solar. I like that because you can do the whole house backup. There's other options available there as well, like the Solar Edge inverter system. There's advantages to all of that. And we can talk about all those different battery options coming up in a few slides from now that are available today at Soligent. Click on the link below, become a dealer. Okay, so for the battery math, let's assume that there's 10 kW of PV array times peak sunlight hours. 5 hours where I'm from those peak sunlight hours could differ where you're at. And again, this is just an example. These numbers are going to be different for everyone. But for this pretend customer, we're assuming that the amount that is normally sold back to the utility, but now under NEM3, they don't want to sell it back, they want to store it. So that excess PV array produced energy, in this example, we're assuming about 50% of the daily PV array production normally sold back that you want to store is going to be what you want to go ahead and store and have an energy storage available to discharge throughout the day instead of selling it back. And again, I talked to some friends of mine in the business. It can be much higher than this. So this number may need to be larger. We're just showing you how the math works. So 50% of the total kilowatt hours produced from a 10 kW PV array is going to be about 25 kilowatt hours roughly of energy. So what do? We take the total kilowatt hours of energy that we're needing to have stored, the usable energy each customer needs and a max use day per their goals. In this example, we figured out that it's 25 kilowatt hours that normally would be sold back to the grid that we want to store. Add 20%, that's 31.25 kilowatt hours of total energy storage needed. That could be, let's see here, 6 of the 5.1 kilowatt hour Endure Energy batteries, 9 of the Simplify Amplify 3.8s, 6 of the 4.8 stacked home grid batteries plus a BMS, or 3 of the 10 kilowatt hour Solar Edge batteries with a Solar Edge inverter. All these options available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below to find out more. Okay, time to talk inverters. We have lots of inverters that we use and sell here at Soligent that we believe in. I personally, being energy storage manager here at Soligent, I love Solarc because of their flexibility. So many different customers can be helped. Talking about the why, or the original part of this program today, the goals of your customer, they all differ. Well, Solarc has the functionality to help people peak shave, time of use, off-grid battery backup, AC couple, DC couple. AC couple is if somebody has an existing system and you want to give them energy storage. Use a Solarc inverter to AC couple to their existing system, microinverters, whatever it might be, a different inverter they started out with, grid tie only. And you can add batteries to their system on the AC coupled side of things, or DC coupled, a brand new system. Either way, Solarc can do it. Off-grid battery backup. Whole house backup. You see the 5K, great for small systems off-grid, small to medium systems with the 8K and 12K, 12K some larger homes as well. You've got to use the critical loads panel for your backup. And there's the bad mamma jamma of them all, the SA-15K hybrid inverter with the 200 amp internal transfer switch, offering the ability to back up an entire main electrical panel for your customer. And all these Solarc inverter units are stackable, meaning You can scale these systems as large as they need to be and tie in a generator. Heck, with a Solark, you can even start a customer off with no batteries at all, just grid tie solar only, and have it battery ready to come back and add batteries later. What a great value proposition to start off a solar customer who can't afford the energy storage right now. Almost like layaway in a sense, right? Get them started with a solar inverter and grid tie only solar, and then come back a year later, just look them up and call them and say, hey, I'm just checking in. We got a special on batteries. Are you interested yet? Yeah, actually, Bob got a new job, or Kathy got an inheritance, or some extra money back from taxes, or whatever it might be. We can afford some batteries now. That's a way to go back and get additional business from the same customer. Solark allows you to do that, along with all the flexibility we just described. All these products are available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. Become a dealer, find out more. And again, I and my awesome teammates here at Soligent will work with you and your customers on the math for your projects and figure out a total bill of materials for everything your customer needs: solar panels, racking, inverters, batteries, electrical balance of systems. We've got experts that all can come together and help you to get a total package to have success for your customer. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Our energy storage training right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Okay, the Amplify 3.8. Simplify, by the way, we're going to go through some of the different batteries. And by the way, there are some batteries we didn't mention here today. We carry a lot of different options. So everything mentioned here today isn't all we have. We have more as well. But I'm just touching on some of our most popular options available right here at Soligent. Okay, Simplify Power. They have other units as well, a 4.9 kilowatt hour battery system from Briggs & Stratton, their sister company, as well as a 6 kW hybrid inverter. But what I'm spotlighting here today is their 3.8 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Simplify Power, some of their features and benefits and value propositions. We'll go through all these different manufacturers, give you kind of an overview of what makes each of them special. And they're all available right here at Soligent. Amplify 3.8, Simplify Power, is made in the USA, Oxnard, California. Great before, during, and after the sale customer service, including upfront design engineering support as well. Single line wire diagrams, you name it, they'll help you out. And that's why I love them. Simplify Power also made with safe lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry, which gives you longer life cycles, and it's safer. Thermal runaway, cascade failure, don't have those issues with lithium iron phosphate. Simplify Power claims, again, this is their claim, not ours, but if it's true, holy smokes, what a great return on investment for your customer. If you size a Simplify Power battery according to their publications at 80% depth of discharge, your customer should get 10,000 cycles before they reach 70% of the remaining capacity. 10,000 cycles is 27 plus years of life. Wow. And assuming that you're sizing it as I say you should, not everyone agrees with me. There are circumstances where you need to cycle it multiple times a day. But most of the time, you need to size a system based on one cycle per day. Fully charged battery discharged, charge back up again, that's one cycle. 10,000 divided by 365, 27 plus years of life expectancy. Okay, Simplify Power offering batteries in 3.8 and 4.9 kilowatt hour increments. Scalable, adding additional batteries on after the install, which allows for creating a larger system and having more flexibility. A lot of times you might size a system with 2 or 3 batteries and go, oh, I need 6. So a year later, you can add on more. 2 years later, you can add on more. It will prorate the warranty on the newer batteries added to the original warranty of the rest of the batteries, which is a 10-year warranty. Amplify batteries we're showing off here today from Simplify also have built-in communication system, closed loop communications with Solark, the inverters we talked about a little bit ago, Victron, as well as the Briggs & Stratton 6 kW inverter, as well as SMA and some other leading inverters, inverter agnostic, as they like to say. Again, available right here at Soligent. Okay, our next battery on the agenda is the home grid stacked batteries in Henderson, Nevada. That's where they're located. Home grid, amazing before, during, and after the sales service, including pre-design engineering support as well. I love home grid, made with safe lithium iron phosphate. They claim that you'll get about 8,000 cycles at 80% depth of discharge. Again, we're oversizing the usable number of kilowatt hours of usable energy the customer needs, adding 20% to that. That's the total kilowatt hours of storage that you need to be at 80% depth of discharge, assuming 1 cycle per day. 8,000 divided by 365, 21.91 years of life before you reach that 70% of the remaining capacity. Again, that's 22 years. That matches up with your customer's expectation. They're buying a 20, 25-year solar system. They want their energy storage to match that. That's why it's vital that we size batteries at 80% depth of discharge in 1 cycle per day. If they go 90% or 100% just because it can, it might only get 12 to 15 years of life before it's shy 30% of the customer's needed energy. They're not going to be happy if that happens. They need to have the ability to pencil out a 20+ year life expectancy to match the life expectancy of their solar system. So sizing it correctly is vital to be able to create that return on investment that shows your customers that it's worth that upfront investment for storage. Home grid offers batteries in 4.8 kilowatt hour increments, allowing for customization. Exact total kilowatt hours needed. 4.8 is really great. You take the total kilowatt hours needed for storage, divide by 4.8. That's the amount of home grid units you need plus the BMS. Scalable, adding on more, that's not a problem for home grid. Durable BMS system, compatible with most inverter systems, including Solarc that we showed you earlier. Home grid batteries have a lower install time, lower labor cost. Get it done in a morning or an afternoon, not 2 or 3 days, because they stack together like Lego bricks. Wow, that is awesome. And that makes you more competitive and more profitable as a business. And home grid offers a 10-year limited warranty, unlimited cycles as well. You can get home grid batteries stacked right here at Soligent today. Click on the link below. Fortress Power, Langhome, Pennsylvania is where they call home. Woman owned. Way to go, Jing. We love you and your entire team. Awesome before, during, and after the sales service. Upfront engineering support as well. Lithium iron phosphate, longer life cycles. Sized at 80% depth of discharge, getting 8,000 cycles. That's 22 years of life, assuming 1 cycle per day, which is a great way to look at that. See on the left, that picture, that's an 18.5 kilowatt hour eVault. All of this is stackable for larger systems. eVault is 18.5 kilowatt hours. Doesn't that look beautiful? Available right here in Soligent today in stock. And on the right, the eFlex, which is a 5.4 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Those are awesome. You can actually stack those outside, IP65 rated, so you can rain on them and it won't cause, most batteries can't get rained on. I think that's pretty awesome. I didn't mention this earlier, but Fortress has the Flex Tower where you can stack energy storage and a solar converter inside. Home Grid has their integrated series that you can do the same thing for a total ESS system, and Simplify has their access system where you can do the same. I want to make sure that you know that that is available as well to build a total comprehensive system with us here at Soligent. Fortress Power, scalable, adding on additional batteries, not a problem. Also as well, durable BMS, working with lots of inverter systems like the Solarc we just mentioned, 10-year warranty, unlimited cycles. And this is a biggie. Fortress Power has commercial, industrial, energy storage, turnkey packages available right here at Soligent. 233 kilowatt hours or larger eSpire systems, including inverter, all of the breakers and everything you need, turnkey packages contact us today if you have a commercial industrial opportunity available right here at Soligent. And I didn't mention it earlier, but the 30K and 60K from Solarc for commercial industrial inverters are available here as well. Click on the link below. And thanks again for joining us at the Soligent YouTube channel for our energy storage training today. All right, Solar Edge. We love Solar Edge and Solar Edge solutions available here at Soligent. Click on the link below. Main panel upgrade avoidance, probably the biggest differentiator, in my opinion, for Solar Edge's value propositions versus the other players in the field. Main panel upgrades can cost thousands of dollars per an install. And one of the blessings of Solar Edge is their inverter, 3 batteries, and 1 EV charger can all share a single breaker. That's huge. That saves you a lot of money. Also with Solar Edge versus microinverters, build larger systems with Solar Edge. The system size is shrinking with micros as mod wattage increases. Solar Edge projects allow you and your business to sell more modules on each project, more power for the customer, extra energy with their efficiency of their DC optimized technology also allows for less conversions and more power, less clipping and more power to be available to charge batteries or for your loads. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Solar Edge. Those great advantages from Solar Edge available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. One app is needed, just one, to monitor PV and batteries and EV charging. Ability to connect generator, also as well, higher production and efficiency than AC coupled solutions. Again, talking about that efficiency of DC optimized systems through Solar Edge. Their home battery is UL9540A, which is a higher fire safety rating than most batteries out there. Consumption and communications all built into the Energy Hub. No cycle limit on their battery for their 10-year warranty, 9.7 kilowatt hours of capacity, stack capacity and power, multiple batteries on a single inverter with no extra breakers. I would recommend though, even though there's the capability of going 100%, I personally would recommend taking whatever your usable energy that's needed, that total kilowatt hours you determine that your customer needs per their goals. I still recommend add 20% so the battery discharges at 80% depth of discharge. Again, maximizing life expectancy. That's just a good way to go. All right, Enphase IQ batteries. You love Enphase IQ inverters, microinverters. Well, the IQ8 microinverters, not even including, all this available at Soligent, by the way, not even including energy storage. Their in-charge batteries, their IQ batteries are amazing. 3.36 kilowatt hours per battery. Put 3 of them in one ensemble equals 10 kilowatt hours. You can stack 4 of them up to 40 kilowatt hours of storage. But even if you don't have storage and you just start off with Enphase microinverters, they have the IQ8 series has the ability for sunlight backup. That means if the sun is shining during peak sun, whatever that mod wattage is, you'll be able to feed some of your loads during that sunny part of the day if the grid goes down. That could be vital in an emergency, even if you don't have energy storage. But I recommend getting energy storage. Enphase IQ batteries are NEMA 3R rated, so they can keep delivering power even in harsh weather conditions. Check this out. Rain, sleet, or snow, just like the US Postal Service, go Enphase. Available right here at Soligent. Intelligent Storm Guard feature automatically tracks weather systems to prioritize power backup if an approaching storm is detected. Very cool, especially some of your weather-prone customers might really get a benefit out of this. AC home standby generator, you can plug in there and have the ability to use your generator. I love this about Enphase, their IQ batteries. Check it out, IQ load controller. The ability to turn power-hungry appliances on and off automatically or manually from the Enphase app, conserving your battery life when running on backup power. That's a big advantage right there. Enphase Home Solar IQ battery operates with low voltage DC power, lithium iron phosphate, safe. It's an awesome battery to consider, awesome system. If you already know Enphase, you know the name and you can trust Enphase is going to do a good job for you and your customers. All available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. Don't forget, Enphase IQ batteries are covered by a 10-year warranty with the ability to purchase an additional 5 years on the warranty. Thank you, Enphase. By the way, we have other batteries available here at Soligent. We're the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas, which means we have an awesome variety of choices, a plethora, as the three amigos would say. We have a plethora, like El Guapo. What is a plethora? Well, we have it right here, a plethora or a myriad or just plenty, a lot of, a multitude, get out the thesaurus, Josh, of different options available for your energy storage needs here at Soligent. So by means, anything that we're showing here today, that doesn't mean this is all that we have. We have other brands and other partners we love. These are just some of the partners that we're showing off today as far as different examples that you could utilize for energy storage solutions for your customers. Crown Battery, lead acid batteries, you may not realize this, but they're the most sustainable product out there. The most recycled product on planet Earth are lead acid batteries. More than cans, bottles, more than paper, plastic, lead acid batteries. 98+% of all lead acid batteries are turned into brand new batteries. That's a sustainable business right there. And it's an amazing chemical technology. Crown Battery has wet flooded and AGM available at Soligent, by the way. Reach out to us and we can drop ship your Crown batteries to you anywhere in the country. L16s in stock. I know that's not an issue for us at Soligent using Crown Battery. They're made in the USA, Fremont, Ohio. So we're not waiting for a shipment to come over from overseas. It's right here in the good old US of A. Stock available, large quantities in stock and ready to ship. Crown Battery has been in business for over 97 years. They're owned by one guy who bought it from the original family, not an investment group owning it. It's literally one guy who used to sweep the floors in the 70s, and now he owns it. So you know quality's number one at Crown. Wet flooded or AGM options available and in stock, by the way. When I say available at Soligent, I mean it. So click on the link below and ask us for a quote. We'll get a Soligent specialist in touch with you right away. Amazing before, during, and after the sales service. Conventional group sizes available, as well as industrial steel case options. I mean, this is a big need out there, and not a lot of companies have stock available. Crown does, and Soligent will get it to you and your customer where you need it within a week to 2 weeks lead time, if not sooner. I mean, awesome, in stock and available. Customized load evaluation assistance. I mentioned earlier, we've been talking about the oversize. For Crown Battery, for lead acid, to make sure the batteries last as long as possible, you need to oversize it about 70% larger than your customer's max kilowatt hours of usable energy needed. So the battery's sized at 30% DOD. It's a different animal than lithium. But if you size it correctly that way, you can get a lot of life cycles out of a lead acid battery system, plus maintaining it properly. And Crown can give you the support through Soligent to help you there. In addition, PV array, quick note, a little different. Lithium showed in the math examples earlier, adding 10 to 20%, and then dividing by peak sunlight hours. Boom, there is your PV array. You want to increase your PV array for lead acid to properly charge them every day and avoid sulfation damage by about 50 to 60% larger than your total energy storage that you have available there to ensure that they're always charged properly. But you'll get great life. Crown Battery available today, and the most sustainable products on planet Earth are lead acid batteries. Amazing. And we still have these available today right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. All right, we're talking about Endure Energy batteries, safe lithium iron phosphate, available right here at Soligent. All the safety certifications done to meet or exceed all the requirements for storage systems, UL explosion, resistance, crush, puncture, drop, impact test, gone through it all. Also, safe lithium iron phosphate means the longest life cycles possible, and a safe chemistry without thermal runaway or cascade failure issues. 5.1 kilowatt hour increments, no ventilation necessary, high performance, at 80% depth of discharge, get about the 8,000 cycles you're looking for, or 20 plus years of life, but it does have the capability to get about 6,000 cycles at 90% depth of discharge. Endure Energy batteries, one of the biggest pluses I love about them so much is grade A battery cells, all brand new. So you're getting the highest quality lithium battery cells, never recycled there, always brand new cells. So you're getting the longest life, best quality with their 5.1 kilowatt hour increments, and a low voltage or high voltage out of the same unit. What? Normally you have to buy a high voltage DC unit for your high voltage jobs and a low voltage 48 volt DC unit for your low voltage jobs. Not with Endure Energy, available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. The same unit can be programmed. This is not just a battery company at Endure Energy. Also, they're a technology company. You can program the unit to be low voltage or high voltage. The same unit, 24/7 remote monitoring available, US-based technical support, and their support is amazing throughout the nation with a 10-year warranty. All right, let's wrap this up. Again, a lot of this has been very quick, and some of our math examples, so by no means are we done here. You can reach out to us directly and we'll help you with your project, and our Soligent specialist will contact you right away to get together on a one-on-one meeting and customize a total bill of materials for what you need. All right, recapping how to size, design, sell energy storage, recapping that, it's all about your customer's goals, their why, the math. Every customer's needs differ, and the only way to become successful at selling energy storage is to get comfortable with the math. Make the math your North Star. If your customers know that it's not your opinion about what they need, let's see what the math says. Well, the math never lies. You're going to be more trusted and a consultant instead of a salesperson, and more likely to actually make more sales and have successful projects out there. Make the math your North Star. And ask your customers, what are their goals? Let's review those today. Some of the excess PV array energy that your customers are having available, well, at night the rates are higher. They might want to offset that with energy storage. They might want to store all their excess PV array energy for use in the home throughout the day. No sell back to the utility. That might be their goal. Emergency load battery backup or whole house backup, or they might want to go off the grid altogether. It's all about your customer's why, and you've got to find out what that is. Energy storage success requires you find out your customer's goals and what they want to accomplish. Again, what is your customer's why? Energy storage success requires time and patience to customize a system that's right for the customer. Energy storage is not as easy as just selling solar, or everyone would already be doing it. The past 2 decades is fraught with people in the solar business that start offering batteries, and then they do it once or twice and they stop. Why? Why do they stop? Because it's not easy. It's not as easy as taking an average usage, dividing by peak sunlight hours, sizing and selling a PV array. Energy storage requires more homework, more customization, more one-on-one, more asking these questions, and more patience, or everyone would already be doing it. So in order to be good at this, getting comfortable with the math and customization is the first step to having success in selling energy storage. It's all about customization. A one-size-fits-all approach never works when selling energy storage. Learn the math. Talk with your customers about their goals and their why. And remember, you're doing this here today. You're becoming more valuable by getting more knowledge. Invest in your knowledge. Don't try to become a person of success, but try to become a person of value, like Albert Einstein said. And you will have more success than you ever could have dreamed of. Thanks for joining us here today at the Soligent YouTube channel for our Energy Storage Solutions training class, right here, available on rerun, or also as well contact me I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent. I'll do a one-on-one of this class or go through a project one-on-one with you and your customer, do the math, connect you with a Soligent specialist with all the materials you need: solar, racking, inverter, energy storage, electrical balance of systems. We'll take care of you for an entire package to make sure your customer and you are successful in selling and dealing with energy storage. Uh, Email me directly, josh.brum@soligent.net. That's josh.brum@soligent.net. Or also as well, you can give me a call on my cell phone, 707-835-6567. That's 707-835-6567. I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, and our goal is to empower you and your customers to thrive with energy storage. The key is customization, and the key is also getting educated. Hopefully, we're able to do that together here today at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and write your comments and questions down below. A Soligent specialist will be in touch with you right away. Thanks for tuning in today for our energy storage solutions training class right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas.